Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Creativity Broadcast. I'm your host, Laura, and I'm here to do another collective creativity reading for all of us today. If you're new to my channel, welcome to the Creativity Broadcast. If you poke around, you'll find a lot of different kinds of videos, all aimed at helping to increase your creative flow and really grow that relationship with your creative side. So I have things ranging from talks on creativity to guided journaling to collective creativity readings. So make sure to hit subscribe. It helps me understand more about what kind of content you all want. And yeah, let's go ahead and get settled in for today's collective creativity reading. So as always, these readings are intended to support your intuition, to support your process. And also, for those of us they resonate with, we're here to be in community together. Okay. So let's all just take a deep breath. I have my hand on my heart for some reason. This period of time lately, I'm just really feeling a strong connection to ground in my heart space. What do we need to know right now? I'm getting this image almost of like patting down the earth, like grounding in, but also almost like we've planted seeds and we're kind of like tucking them in. I don't know. Let's see what this is about. I think first, for an overarching message, we are going to do the White Light Oracle. Sorry. Gotta love some mild chaos first thing in the morning. Hope you all are doing really well. As of the time of recording this, it's been about a year since I began working on my novel, and for whatever reason, she's knocking at my door again. So sort of opened that portal back up again. Just kind of writing some of those waves of ideas and inspiration and agony. If you know, you know. Okay. All right, White Light Oracle, what do you want us to know today? What is it? Sovereign Queen Maeve. Oh, I love a Queen Maeve. It's a 40. Overarching message of Queen Maeve. That's really good. Okay, let's see. Oops. Oh, wrong way. Okay, there we go. Queen Maeve, we're talking boundaries. We're talking honoring your power. We're talking like the subtlety of like creating the bounds of your kingdom. Okay. I'm just going to read from this right now. Okay. Value what is sacred to you by protecting it from interference, even that which may be well intentioned. Be compassionate but set firm boundaries. You are going to triumph over a negative situation. It will take courage, but you have more than enough inner strength, resourcefulness, and boldness to accomplish what you wish to attain. Do not give up. You have the ability to connect with higher worlds, so open up your heart and mind to the light. At the portal between everyday reality and the rapture of unchecked aliveness stands Sovereign Queen Maeve. She is an initiatrix, taking us beyond the constraints of polite moralism and into the bliss, sacred passion, grit, and astuteness needed to cultivate and protect the light. Goddess, warrior, queen of the Fae, and fearless guardian and protector of territory, Maeve is wild and determined. She stimulates confidence, encouraging one not to shy away, but rather to assertively engage with life and claim your true place in the world. Yeah, so I think that this message, especially related to that first thing I was getting about like protecting the seeds, this is not a creating and empowering yourself through hiding. This is a lot more about like if you're actively participating in the world, that's the place to go to participate, to have your boundaries. So Sovereign Queen Maeve is sort of asking you to acknowledge that you're at the precipice of something really, it's not necessarily something brand new. It's probably something you've been working towards for a long time, but you're kind of standing at the gate of it really taking root tangibly in your reality. And part of what Sovereign Queen Maeve is telling you is like, keep going. And yes, you need courage, but you can draw upon your store of courage. Like you actually have quite a lot. And the thing to do is go and practice. It is to go out and lead. And yeah, there's really something here about it's very encouraging energy of like you're very close to a finish line. And all that's needed to keep going is courage. Like continue to participate. That's the message that I keep getting here is continue to participate. Continue to participate. Wow. I always get so excited when I see Sovereign Queen Maeve. I think partially because in my coaching practice, I work with a lot of women. Excuse me. And we tend to be challenged when it comes to creating healthy boundaries. Some of it is how we're socialized. Some of it is like we just are pretty prone to having an inner pleaser. And I love Sovereign Queen Maeve because it says, to me, Sovereign Queen Maeve is like the queen of a conversation about boundaries, because she doesn't say, hey, you came over my fence. This is a problem. We have to fight. She says, it's my job to protect my territory. It's just a very different way to be. Very different way to be. Okay, so I think for some clarification, let's go to Moonology. Love the Moonology Oracle. Did any of you all watch my video recently where I was like crying about how much I love the moon? I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I wonder if anybody watched that and what they thought. Did it resonate? I don't know. I was thinking about it this morning because in that video, I was talking about one of my favorite music artists, Gregory Alan Isakov, and one of my favorite songs by him is from this album called This Empty Northern Hemisphere. And in one of the fan groups that I'm in, actually, it's the only fan group I'm in for him on Facebook. I guess he had a show at Red Rocks this last week where he played a song from that album that was like my first favorite. And man, I wish I had been there. That would have been so cool and beautiful. I think he actually played it on the full moon. Like, it sounds like one of the audience members was like, it's a full moon. Can you play that moon song? And they actually did. So that's cool. They must have been prepared. Anyway. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that song. You came on strong like a running wave. Your beauty left me broke and hungry. Left me begging to the birds for a bone or an offering. Left me saying nothing like I always say. Oh, it's so beautiful. Okay. I'm so glad that I live as a human being where I can take in people's art about beauty and love. It's the best. Okay. All right. So Moonology, just a little bit of clarification on this message. Oh, yeah. you want me to go here? Okay. Expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. Wow. It's kind of interesting because we're at a full moon eclipse this weekend, the blood moon. I think it's full moon eclipse. Okay. So expect powerful change. Yeah, this is Maeve energy through and through. Wow. All right. If you want affirmation that you can achieve your dreams and get the desired outcome in the situation you're asking about, then this is it. This is a card of beginnings, and there are powerful energies at work, but be prepared. It could be quite a ride, and events now could be even jarring and uncomfortable. However, any new directions you take will almost always lead somewhere better than when you are at the moment. This is because most people struggle with the nature of being a human being. We struggle with change, even if it's positive change, because we are hardwired just to maintain the status quo and to maintain our comfort zone. And this card is saying that, hey, you're at the beginning of some change, and you can actually have some faith that wherever this change is going, while it might be unpredictable, is actually taking you somewhere better. No matter how the change occurs, it will actually be an improvement from where you currently are. So it's almost asking you to just put on some rose-colored glasses about change. Whatever is happening now is happening for a reason you'll appreciate later on. A new portal is opening up, and all you have to do is have the courage to forget about the past and move through it. Again, courage. You're being put back on the right path. There's nothing to fear. Yes, 1,000 times yes. You're being shunted toward your life purpose. Whatever's happening now is happening for your highest good. This is an important turning point in your life. Wow. It says, new moon eclipses are among the most exciting astrological events. They herald a complete change of pace. It's as though you're headed in one direction, probably being guided by your ego, and then here comes the divine or goddess or spirit or Queen Maeve to turn you instead to face the direction you actually need to go. Regardless of whether or not there's a new moon eclipse happening when you pull this card, it's a powerful affirmation of positive turnarounds. Wow. Yeah, so all very positive and really reminding you to stand your ground and keep going. Keep going, but again, underneath Sovereign Queen Maeve, like this is really clearly saying, hey, you're walking through a portal right now. Be clear and firm and connected. I don't know who this is for, but there's a message coming through about really focusing on your body and focusing on your body instead of letting your mind do a million different things, and expect powerful change. It's beautiful. Okay, so I think for just final message here, we're going to go for the animal spirit. And I'm also feeling a need to ask a question with the animal spirit. Normally this last part I'm doing asking for some action steps. But I'm feeling like maybe we actually need to ask about doubts. This may not be for everyone, but for some of you, I'm getting that there may be some questions about partners, about partnership, about because you're giving your energy very specifically in service of a place you really want to go, there's a question here about like, wow, it's a really loud motorcycle. There's a question here about, is it right? Are they right? Should I be starting myself on a different track? So I think with this card draw, I'm really just asking for some guidance with that energy, if that's part of this like initiation happening right now. Okay. Elephant, oyster. Wow, look at these. Both black and white. They've kind of got this luminous quality to them. And also kind of opposite suits. Interesting. Let's see what the cards say. Elephant. Unstoppable. Add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. Trust this gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way with the light of self-knowledge. When in balance, one-pointed focus, generous, loving. When out of balance, misunderstands fate. To bring it to balance, trust. Okay, so we'll see how this pairs with the oyster reading, but so far, this is a really loving, compassionate reinforcement of the message that we got earlier in this reading about being able to have faith that where you're going is better than where you are. And even if it's going to change down the line, at least it's on purpose. Oyster. You know, in all the work I've done at this deck, I have never drawn the oyster card before. Patient. Secret keeper. Hiding inner treasures. Wow. I just need to say, these are all hitting me as keywords. They're things I've encountered already today and made note of. Wow. The focus and determination of the oyster is unmatched. Anything an oyster personality puts their mind to, they achieve with grace and charm. The only problem is oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. They become shy or doubtful, and this can lead to withdrawing or protecting their deepest desires and life's work. When the oyster card appears, it's important to reveal your inner treasures. What is it you've been hesitant to share? The world is waiting to see. When in balance, feels blessed, generous, masterful. When out of balance, reluctant, gripping, clams up. to bring into balance, share something. Wow. That's beautiful. I'm feeling very winked at right now. The card that I drew this morning for the beginning of my week actually had a lot about like sharing what you're working on, just continuing to have courage and keep sharing. So this might be just being willing to be vulnerable and share about something that you're working on. Let yourself kind of be in more open conversations, see what kind of support shows up. But also just a reminder that we do need to delight in where things currently are. Writing the book is not necessarily about finishing the book. It is partially, there is a goal. But there's so many hidden treasures along the way. There's so much fun and pleasure that you get to take in the creative process. And that's about creations, but it's also about desires, about dreams. Like, it may be not necessarily tangible. I'll share with you all, just by way of practice and modeling. Last week I was telling my coach that I think I came up with my pen name, and it's just been really fun. It's been fun to kind of like come up with a nom de plume and think about like, why is it empowering to me to have something like that? And starting to think about like what her process is like and how is it different from the part of me that shows up for band practice. And I don't know, I was also kind of getting to, for me, from Oyster, I'm feeling kind of intimidated by my band. Like, they're all really good. And so I think that I need to focus on the gifts that I bring to the table as well. 'Cause half the time they're not doing this, I'm doing this. I'm like comparing myself a lot and feeling like, I don't have the same amount of skill and therefore I'm not supposed to be there or something. Or like my contribution isn't as good as it could be or something. Like, the compare equals despair is just very strong. And, the other thing I really am enjoying for us about Oyster is like of course, like, one of the first places that I go is thinking about the Walrus and the Carpenter from Alice in Wonderland and how the oysters just live this little beautiful peaceful life under the water. They befall a terrible fate in the Oyster and the Carpenter. That's not what I'm talking about. The point is that oysters, these like little sea creatures, like they're not out there with a ton of ambition. They're in there. They have these beautiful shells that protect them. In fact, their squishy self is protecting the pearl that's getting created. And so I think we can remember that we all have a squishy self that protects our gift. It nurtures our gift too. And so remember, oh wow, this is really coming full circle in the shape of a sphere, but also full circle in that Queen Maeve is all about really protecting yourself. And with the oyster, we kind of have this triple visual where we have like the hard outside shell that protects the softer, fleshy interior. That is the thing that's creating that beautiful pearl, that beautiful gift. So everything has its protective layer. And it's just in there being beautiful, minding its own business. Anyway, I'd be very curious to hear what you all are seeing for yourselves in this. I'm also feeling the need to mention, if you're feeling any connection to the sort of like sea creature water energy, I'm getting this directive of like pearl, pearl, pearl. Maybe you want to adorn yourself with pearls or look for mermaid treasure or something. Like, there's something here about like really treasuring little pieces of beauty, almost as a practice of honoring your little gift that you bring everywhere. All right. That was amazing. Unexpected. Oh, I need to show you all something. My voice is a treasure. My beautiful Little Mermaid mug. And I'll also show you something. I don't know if you've noticed this in the background. I saw this. It's a mug. It's technically from Galaxy's Edge in Disney World. You can see it says Star Wars on the bottom, and it's got this language around it that I'm not enough of a Star Wars fan to be able to be like, this is a language. I'm pretty sure it's Wookiee related, but I saw this on a secondhand like resale site, and I was just so struck by the color, by the sort of like pearlescent glow of it. I had to have it. I can't explain why. There was just something kind of magical to me about it. So I bought it. I put it on my mug shelf where all the mugs are. And it's impossible to drink out of. Look at this. And so then I tried it with a straw and it just slid around. I was like, okay, I don't think this is meant to be a literal mug for me. And my friend Nephi said, he was like, I would probably put a plant in it. And that gave me an idea to kind of bring it up here and maybe have it be more decorative and part of creating my space up here instead of it being like a literal mug, you know? And so I've had it back here on this, you know, we could call it my like inspiration altar. You probably have seen it a lot without really, I never really point to it. But I like to light a candle there, especially when I'm channeling or coaching. Anytime that I'm doing some guided meditation or reading for myself, because it kind of says like, okay, my sacred space is intact. And yeah, so I was just feeling the need to share with you all about this cool mermaid treasure object. Yeah, so if you're feeling like you would also benefit from having some magical objects, I'll go ahead and tell you that any object can be a magical object because it's about the meaning that you give to it so that it reminds you of something. And yeah, it's a cool opportunity to pay attention to your intuition and your imagination. Like if you're feeling kind of obsessed with a certain thing, there might be really something in just following it a little bit longer down the rabbit hole and seeing where it takes you. All right, everyone. I hope that this was helpful. Looking forward to hearing from you all about this. And until next time.